Hi there guys, and welcome to another Trainson 2018 video. Today is something that I have been looking forward to coming out now for a few weeks, and having seen the extra screenshots that have been coming out for this, I've just been getting more and more excited. It is, of course, the wonderful Armstrong Powerhouse Class 158 Perkins Enhancement Pack. It's not a Cummins Enhancement Pack, it's just the Perkins Enhancement Pack. Just to sum up, some 158s were fitted with Perkins engines, and some were fitted with Cummins engines. The Cummins engines, I think, come in two variants, 350 and a 400 horsepower, and I can't remember what the horsepower is exactly for the Perkins one. I think that's 350 as well, if I'm not mistaken. It might even be less. I will look that up as we go further on through the video. So the reason you might not get the pack, the livery you want in the pack or anything like that, is because it won't have been fitted with the Perkins engine. And while I'm sure people will do reskins for them, and there'll be some of you out there going, what? I don't even know the difference between a Perkins engine and a Cummins engine. If you know the difference between the two, you would know. And we all know Armstrong Powerhouse like to keep things pretty as real to life as possible. So you wouldn't expect this to have a livery of, say, First Great Western or ScotRail, because they all had Cummins engines. Or TransPennine Express, I think they even had the original TransPennine franchise. They had the 3-car ones, and they were Cummins as well. So this is one of the scenarios that comes with. This was actually one that Richard said to me I might enjoy. This is Cardiff to Portsmouth Harbour. This is also my first time playing on this route. This is the Swansea extension. I haven't had it before until today because I got it in the sale. So let's get started. We'll go through the manual. We'll go through what I think of it. I haven't had a look at it yet. This is my first proper look at it. I'm looking at the outside now. The repaint, the reskin is lovely. Really liking this weathering that's coming out on these AP packs at the moment. And even like the little crazing in the fiberglass there. It's really nicely done. It's very, very nice. Right. Just another thing that I'll tell you before we do. This uses the 159 as its model. There's been a lot of confusion about this. Well, it's a 159 pack, and he's not doing a 159, but needs a 159. Just using the model, guys. That's all it is. Just using the model, because it's the better one out there. Okay? Right, let's get going. Nice. Nice. Right, let's have a listen and see what we've got to do. Hello, driver. You start the scenario outside Cardiff Central, waiting the road into the station to form your service. As soon as you receive it, you may get on your way. You have a booked departure time from Cardiff of 0930, where you will then call at Newport 0944, Seven Tunnel Junction 0954, and Bristol Temple Meads at 1016. Finally, remember to set your destination to show Portsmouth Harbour. The code is 138. That's all then. Enjoy the sights and sounds of 1998. Yeah, that's why it's going to be a bit retro, which I quite like. 38. So we have the Voltron destination controller. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Destination controller working. Oh, they're quite nice. I think Chris will even like them. Let's get our headlights set up. So I want them onto day, and I want to turn my tail lights off. Is it usually J or K that they use for that? K. A bit of Merlin livery with some Intercity Swallow. I've got the road, actually. And an incredibly claggy HST. It really does look like 98. What else works? Ooh. Compressor speed up works. I like that. Instrument lights, like them. Cab lights, they work as well. Perfect. Stop-start buttons work. I mean, there isn't much to have working really in the cab work 158. It would be nice to have the doors, but of course they didn't have doors. I'd probably like to have pressed a PA button just to at least make it beep. You know what I like. Right. I will be doing more videos on this because, of course, this is pre-2013, so it doesn't have the GSMR or anything in it. Oh, no, step 1, and then I can take power. Ergamont russet. Nice little apple sticker there. I like that. Oh, look! It's a Toclite bag. I've actually got one of these. I got it, a friend gave it to me a while ago. It's a handy bag to have. Especially when you're cycling as well, because it's nice and reflective. Oh, I must say this drives 1,000 times better. Say my departure time is 09:30 from Cardiff. That's good. That gives us plenty of time to have a fiddle and read through the manual. Oh, I will apologise. There seems to be about 1 million helicopters going over today, as you can probably hear. I don't know if it's one just doing circuits or if it's multiple. I haven't been out the shed to look. But considering I'm right on the approach for the 2 helicopter landing pads at Cambridge Airport, it's a bit of a pain in the bum. Do forget that this route's actually quite nice. I do like the gubbins in the track, even though it's probably a little bit much. It's a bit sort of randomly placed on this route, isn't it? Oh, I like the brakes. The way you're flicking between them is actually very satisfying. Right. So, what liveries do we have? We have regional railways, with or without regional railways logo, regional railways and ex-regional railways, Central Trains, Wales and Borders, and Wales and West logo. Wales and Borders, ex-Wales and Borders, Wessex Trains, so that's the pink, the Alpha Line Wessex Trains. Wessex Trains revised when they went to more yellow on the front, which I never really liked. The Wessex Trains livery to me was nice on the side, but the front ends was too yellow. It needed a bit more black on it for my liking. Arriva Trains Wales, and then there's the Arriva Trains Wales, the revised one, which is the more modern one with the lines, like the multiple lines down the side. Then you've got Northern Rail, with or without logo. Central Trains, which, do you know, I still quite like. Still quite like Central Trains. And, of course, the EMT refurb ones as well. Cab-wise, there are 2 fully, I haven't opened my doors, fully rebuilt cabs. So this hasn't got the 158 or the 159 cab in it at all. It is 2 fully rebuilt cabs. You've got this one and the refurbished one. So the refurbished one is the one from East Midlands Trains, which has the round buttons. This stuff all still looks the same really, but it's got the round switches and stuff here and buttons. This is different and this is different. The light proven, and it doesn't have my very beautiful clock. The reason I have one of these very beautiful clocks is because the East Midlands Trains refurb, so I'm quite happy it happened. Also up here on the right hand side, just below here, you'd have the GSMR will be here, and the old NRN blanking plate going over there. We still have the Voltron system up here. Max speed 90 mile an hour, numbering with the TPWS there as well. Stick the cab light on so it's a bit brighter in here, should we? Do we have a clipboard light? No. Do we have anything along the back panel? No. One thing I am going to say is just looking around this, is even though there's probably not as many clicky things as I'd have liked, it is one very well done bit of kit. I mean, the way they've got the reflections on the window there as well, so you can see that the metal frame, the weathering on the desk, It is pretty special. It's pretty special. See, that would be the view for the GSMR. I'm not going to get confused like I did in the 150. The Voltron view, and then we have a second mount side view with your bag down there. Very nice to look at. Right, features. What does this come with? Brand new cab, standard refurb variants. We've been through that. 10 liveries. I've been through those with you. Detailed internal and external audio, which we'll hear more of as we're going, but it already sounds pretty good. Accurate acceleration and braking physics. So Rich was saying on his page the other day there's 333 different sounds for the sound pack, for the enhancement pack. It has GSM-R. It has a Voith T211RZ hydraulic transmission simulation, wheel slip protection, automatic unit numbering, dynamic exhaust effects, Voltron destination indicator controller, driver vigilance device, and of course that lovely thing that I love on the new AP manuals, bits and bobs. We will get to bits and bobs. So GSM-R is the same as in the 150/2. Beautifully modelled, very nicely done. Showed Just Trains how to do it properly. The Voith T211RZ. Great care has been taken in reenacting the characteristics of the two-stage hydraulic transmission for this unit. When accelerating from standing start, the engine revs up and oil fills the torque converter, which allows acceleration to take place. There is a 2-second or so delay between the engine revving up and the oil fill in the converter, which is why these units do not accelerate as soon as power is applied. So you know that with 150, it's the same with 150/2 as well. And also that is what causes the distinctive initial surge of RPM before the engine settles. This also explains why you don't get that same initial surge of RPM when powering up from notch 1 instead of off. This is the convert because the converter's already filled, so you wouldn't have to surge the engine to refill that anyway. Then you've got stage 2, which is the fluid coupling at 57 miles an hour, the oil transmission from the torque converter to the fluid coupling, which results in a reduction of engine RPM. During this stage, engine RPM is directly proportional to the speed of the train, which means RPM will there be the same regardless of which notch is selected on the power handle. All that varies is the load being placed on the engine. As speed increases, then you will gradually hear the RPM rise in sync. This unit will stay in the second stage until it drops below 52 miles per hour. What's that? 37 on a steel train. Nice. I don't know if I've got the sound pack installed for the 37. I must say, this is nice. I mean, 1998 you still had a lot of pre-privatisation liveries kicking about as well. Okay, so just before we leave, wheel slip protection. Wheel slip protection aids the driver when powering or braking during times of poor adhesion. Accelerating. When wheel slip is encountered during acceleration, a 2-stage process takes place. Stage 1, power is automatically reduced and 2 gearbox fault lights will illuminate in the cab. Once wheel slip stops, the power is reapplied to the notch selected in the power handle and 2 gearbox lights extinguish. If wheel slip reoccurs, the process will start again. That to me sounded very much I knew it'd be a somewhere in Reggie Rail livery. Oh, you're an Alpha line as well. The thing I really like about 158s and the whole... I pulled into this station with those... No, I didn't. Oh, that wasn't my 158, that's why. Is the routes that they were used on. I mean, the whole cross-country network was sort of 158 heaven at times, wasn't it? I mean, even now, you can do Liverpool to Norwich. And this one, Cardiff to Portsmouth Harbour. 56 in Transrail as well. Very nice. So that's the guard's buzzer. So there was that initial surge. Nice horn. That 37 left ahead of us, didn't it? Yeah, it is. So, as we were talking about wheel slip, as a driver you must assess which power notch is most suitable for the conditions and balance the occurrence of wheel slip with the maximum possible rate of acceleration. Please see the table below for what to expect during each season and varying weather conditions. So, just like most of the other Armstrong Powerhouse stuff, spring it's like a table that tells you in the dry, in the wet, or rain or snow, and the different seasons. Braking. When wheel slide is encountered during braking, two-stage process takes place. Brake pressure is automatically reduced and the two gearbox fault lights illuminating the cab. Once the wheel slide stops, the brake pressure is returned to the notch selected on the brake handle and the two gearbox fault lights extinguish. If wheel slide reoccurs, the process starts again. As a driver, you must resist the temptation to reduce the brake yourself, as the wheel slip protection will offer the best braking performance. Please see the table below for what to expect in each weather condition, and vice versa. Oh, that was really silly of me. Sounds like a Perkins. It isn't as nice as the Cummins sound, I'll give you that. And do remember the different engine variants for those all of you out there going, doesn't sound like a 158. It's probably because you don't have the Perkins engines variants where you are. So automatic unit numbering. This is more for scenario editing, guys. What are you doing there, mate? Should actually probably try and stick to speed limits as well. Oh, the run sounds are lovely. So that is what you think it'd be when placing a 158 into the scenario, so using one in quick drive. Both the driving motor standard lavatory and driving motor standard lavatory A and B will automatically be given correct... Is it lavatory? I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for Lou. Yeah. Will automatically be given correct unit and coach numbers instead of you having to select each vehicle and changing the numbers manually so that they match. The unit number is controlled by the DMSLA coach. If you wish to change it, please note the destination display on both driving coaches is also controlled via the DMSLA coach. Finally, vehicle numbers might not be correct for units that don't follow a standard numbering system. Okay. I'm having a mare at driving today. One thing I will say is it's nice to drive. It's got that... The Armstrong Powerhouse effect, I think, is the only way I can say it, is the physics just feel so much better. It's lovely to drive. What I do want to look for... very clean 158. It has the dynamic exhaust effects, but this has got very clean exhaust. It's not the best one to show you it on. Dynamic exhaust effects means that the exhaust reacts to what the engine is doing. For example, when in notch 7 the engine will produce more exhaust than it would when idling. Also, when revving up, exhaust thickens before thinning out when the RPM settles. Equally, when revving down, exhaust thins. On top of that, when starting up, the exhaust rises in sync with the sound of the engine revving up. Finally, in reality, the smokiness of each vehicle varies depending on how well it's maintained. So, to represent this in the simulator, a random clag factor, another really cool term, is allocated to each vehicle, which ranges from 1 to 10, 1 being the cleanest and 10 being the dirtiest. So, this is going to definitely be a 1. So the Voltron destination display controller. Fully functioning electronic destination display is provided with both the old triangle based and the new dot matrix variants represented. Instructions on how to operate, let me just watch my speed here, I've caught that with that 37, excellent. Yeah, so both the old and new versions are represented. Instructions on how to operate the Voltron display can be found on the Voltron destination indicator controller in the cab. For each livery, a set of relevant destinations are provided. Please see below for a list. Right, so there is... Every livery has a load of different codes, which is nice. So, this does feature cold starts. Now, after just having the APT as well that does cold start stuff, I'd like to see more scenarios where you are starting from cold. If the feature's there, let's use it. So to use your gubbins, you'll need to wait for the compressor to build the air in the main reservoir. You can speed this up by turning on the compressor speed up switch, which increases engine RPM. The compressor is directly linked to the engine, so when the engine revs faster, the compressor does so. Excellent. You've got to make sure you've got 4.5 bar to get a brake release, although you should read it between 6.5 and 7.5. If it drops below 4.5 bar, the emergency brake application will occur. Right, bits and bobs. My favourite section of Armstrong Powerhouse manuals. This section is dedicated to aspects of the pack that don't warrant a dedicated section, but are still of note. Right, so the driver to guard buzzer is inactive when the doors are open. This is to prevent the driver incorrectly giving the right away, which is normal. That's how it works in real life. The reverser must be placed in neutral to start the engine. Real life. Power cannot be applied if the brake handle is in step 2 or 3 or emergency. Guess what? Real life as well. If the emergency brake applies, power can only be regained if the power handle is turned off. If the brake handle is placed in step 2 or 3 or emergency whilst powering, power will be lost and you must return the power handle to off before being able to regain power. There's a 1 second delay between passing over AWS magnets and the AWS warning sound occurring. The F3 or F4 HUD will show the warning immediately, so you must wait 1 second before trying to cancel it. So it will show up in here straight away, but you won't hear the sound for a second. So watch. It's not too bad with the clears, it's when it's actually on. This is a feature that was in the 150-2 as well that I really like. The headlights only provide illumination before sunrise and after sunset. This is to avoid the unrealistic appearance of projected light in broad daylight, which is very cool. The original bulb and new LED headlight variants are fitted to relevant liveries as well. So this will have the old style bulbs, the Y-pack clusters, and the newer ones will have the LEDs. Very responsive. I just think Armstrong Powerhouse have done it again. They've made a unit I would not have driven for toffee drivable. So 60, 30, then 25 into Newport. So start braking when we get into the tunnel, I think, really. Also, probably got a red at the end of the tunnel. Yep, that's definitely on. Yeah, I like the scenario as well. Right, let's wait until we've got the road here then. Next thing I probably should cover will be this view. So we have passenger view. I don't know if this has got the correct seating texture. I don't think it has. It doesn't tend to be something that Armstrong Powerhouse do. I know Richard was saying it's just a lot of work, basically. I was supposed to be in there at 9:44, rung a bell. Newport 9:44, so we're running a tad late. I'm sure we'll make it up considering we're going all the way to Portsmouth. Well, we're not, the train is. Gone a bit far up the platform there. I like that. Don't know if they've had those buttons. This is Alpha Line. Maybe they came out earlier than I thought. That's because I'm in full service, isn't it? I'm not gonna. After some of my appalling rollbacks, I'm having to get my pulling away technique nailed. I did like the Merlin livery. What is going on? That's novel. I like that. Another 37. Oh, is this actually on the... Yes. See, I bought these today as well. These are the Fast Line Freight wagons. First thing I've bought off theirs, I think. I think some come with certain packs, but... Fast Line, do they have something to do with the 70? Cool. Yeah, no, I like them. I suppose that 56 wouldn't be a bad shout to all a HST set. 80 mile an hour top speed. So engine-wise, there is a Cummins NTA 855 R1. It's the Perkins 2006 TWH. And then there is a Cummins NTA 855 R3. So the 855 R1 is 350 horsepower. The 2006 TWH is 350 horsepower, and then the 855 R2 is the 400 horsepower one. So as built, 158701 to 158814 and 158901 to 910 were with the original Cummins 351. And Perkins were 158815 to 862. And they were as built, they're not as now. Is that like a suspension-y sound I can hear? Oh, I really like that. I'm a big fan. I'm really looking forward to getting some 158 scenarios now. Swapping this out for one of them. I mean, I will drive this where the Perkins ones didn't go. I know I will. Those wagons again. What have we got in the front of this? Oh, 56. Can't move about in the cab view and the passenger view, but that's alright. Sounds are nice. It actually has dedicated sounds for in here, which is quite nice. Yeah. Sounds like 158. pleasure. It is a pleasure. Right, what time were we meant to get here? 54. Ooh. It's a quick stop, that. Yeah, it's lovely. What would I like to see different? I would definitely, again, like a bit more in-cab functionality. I think, considering you're starting with a whole new fresh cab, you could have put something in. Even if they didn't really do too much, scripting-wise, maybe they were just, like, simulated. But visually, it's stunning. I'd like to be able to open the coupling switch button and that. Well, the EMT ones, these also do Nottingham to Skegness, Nottingham Matlock, and Leicester to Lincoln. See, the only ones we get anywhere near Cambridge are the East Midlands trains ones, and they don't actually come to Cambridge, it's Ely. So I, for one, am quite pleased to see them. I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. The cab's a lovely environment to be in. I mean, a 158 cab's quite nice anyway. I always think they look like they should be comfortable. It's made it out Severn Tunnel. It's a stream that the Thai 158 is built to a meter gauge and has a Nathan K3LA horn, which is a very American sounding horn. Strange looking beast, that Thai one, isn't it? Oh, this is pretty, this bit. I like this. Quite good route frame wise as well, really. I can see why Richard likes it. That was on purpose, guys. That wasn't a mistake. Even though people are going to go, "Oh, you did it again." No, I want to see what happens when we do go into emergency, because it was a bit in the manual, wasn't there? I think we have to put the power handle in. Make sure the power handle's come to off before. There was some bits and bobs, I'm sure it was. Oh, listen to that. So the emergency brake applies, power can only be regained if the power handle is returned to off. So we do need to do that. And there we go. After all the problems people are having with the ATP, I've been trying to make sure that I'm covering as much as I can in the videos to see if I can replicate any of these issues that people get. And just so when somebody goes, "Oh, I've had a AWS alert and I can't reset the brakes, how do I do it?" I'll know what I'm doing and know what I'm saying. Because unfortunately, there are still plenty of people out there that will not read a manual. Me being one of them. I still don't read manuals. They are a nice unit. I mean, I remember these being brand new. I've said it before. That had the payphone in the vestibule. These things were like modern, super duper modern. Smoked glass everywhere. They were damn cool. I still think they are. I still think they look good. I really still think they look good. Well, it's kind of got like a sad robot face. I quite like it. And with the glazing the way it is, oh, I've done it. That time was not on purpose. Oh, I was trying to make sure I didn't do that in a video today as well. Ah, well, we've seen it twice. Now you should be really familiar with the restart procedure from the 158 Enhancement pack. So, not far from Bristol now, 5.95 miles. Just crossing over. I suppose it's the same with routes, but little touches like the wear on the cab, the bits where somebody's blatantly just sat there and dug away at that with something, the wear marks around where your arms would be for the controls. The Ergomont Russet sticker. Just little bits like that make all the difference. And that's too fast again. Got a lot of yellows on this trip. It's nice for it not to be a clear straight run. I'm guessing it's going to be quite busy at the Bristol end. Yeah, still run under yellows. Well, one thing we haven't had is the DSD. Just setting myself up even more for some emergency braking action. I'll drive the last 5 miles with it active. It works. That wasn't it actually kicking in there, that was me pressing E to lift up the pedal. Just listening to it is a pleasure. That sort of bouncing around it kind of does. It's just class. It's just really, really class. I'm really looking forward to the Cummins pack as well. I think as soon as they can get Cummins sounds, then awesome. That time the DSD went off. Oh, a nice little bit of swallow still kicking around. That's ours there, perfect. Oh, more Merlin. Excellent. I think this route suits this sort of era quite nice, to be fair. Apart from some of the station furniture, there's not a lot to date it. Right. Okay then, guys. What can I say? I know what I'm going to be driving a lot of soon. I'm spoiled with the APT. There are routes I want to do this on and just have a good drive with it. So, oh, what was that? I just managed to... Oh, that's a shame. Oh, DRA. See you later, 158. Alright, guys. Once again, thanks very much for joining me. Please feel free... Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. God knows what's going on there. There's loads of people on the track and all sorts. A nice train sim glitch. Yeah, head on over to Armstrong Powerhouse, pick this pack up. By far, $12.99, not too steep at all for the work you're getting and the effort that's been put into this. I'm really, really pleased with that sort of price. It's not up there with the 150-2, which in my eyes was still a bit pricey. This price of $12.99, absolutely fine. No worries whatsoever with that. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys soon.